Good afternoon. This is Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailorman, coming to you this morning. I just received a shipment from Pipes and Cigar. I do exclusively with them. I just like the way they do things. I like the way I receive my shipments, always on time, and they keep me abreast. And I get the opportunity once in a while to talk to Russ, their blender. So these are the things that I purchased. I've had this humidor, which I'm about to show you, for about 4 months now. Works fine, the gauge works. Some people say, I don't buy because the gauge don't work. That's not true. They just don't know how to set it up. You have to prep your humidor, and gauges work, you know. So here it goes. I'm going to show you. This is my humidor here that I purchased. Cedar inlay. The one thing about a humidor is you have to make sure it has a great seal lock. It's a Spanish cedar from the smell on it. Now, I haven't bought cigars in about a month, so I have to re-prep the box. Remember, I'm at a very humid, warm climate year-round, 80 degrees. So I don't have to prep the box as if I was like in North America in a very cold climate where you don't have humidity. Here we have immense humidity. And so what I do is I take distilled water, take a clean sponge. Why? You don't want no bacteria, you don't want anything going into this box, and I just wet it down, wet it on top. It's already been prepped. Usually I prep it for a day. I'll come in, prep the box, which means I do what I'm doing right now. See, I go through all the edges, but since I'll do it 3 times in one day. I'll prep it in the morning, really wet it, let it sit, open it up, let it dry, then I come back and I condition the cedar. So basically, since it's been conditioned already, as you notice, it's already wet, right? And then what I do is you can put the humidifier that comes with the box, really works well. The humidifier, I suggest that you put it in water and leave it in water for a while. In distilled water, everything that you use with your box has to be distilled water. I usually put it at the end here, you know, and that's it. I close it, wait a couple of minutes. I believe in bundle cigars. Very good. Actually, the best rollers usually do the bundle cigars. That's because the long filler. I smoked the Dark Shark from I think it's Honduras or Nicaragua. I like Honduran. I like Nicaraguan cigars. I get this from Russ, Pipe and Cigars. I also get what's going on. There's going to be Sal Stanwell for Pipes and Cigar. Nice price. And this year I received a calendar, which is really nice of them. A nice calendar for the new year. You can pick that up with any purchase. And I bought for a good friend of mine Q1, 12 ounces. A Q1 that he likes. And then I shipped this off. So that's it. And I'm going to set it up because I have to. Okay, hopefully you can see me. Move this back a little bit. Give it a little angle. Take a little slurp. Now, people that make the mistake of opening a bundle of cigars. You never open it from the bottom. You always from the cap side. Always. You're wondering why. I'm going to explain why a little later on. So when you get it like that, there's your cap. They probably did this in the factory. And so you push out the cigars. I only get cigar cellophane wrap. Why? Because cellophane attracts humidity and actually absorbs humidity. So this is my first one. What I do is I examine the cap, which is the last thing that is done. Usually when the cap is soft, it's not a tight roll. Once the cap is on, then I begin from the cap on down. Remember, it's rolled, and the final product is going to be the roll. The wrapper is on the cap. So you begin at the cap and you work your way down. And usually half in the middle, you can sense where there's like might be a little gap, filler. You got to be careful. And you touch it. And once you touch it and you see, I do it, not to all of them, but basically I do at least 12 out of the 20 that I have. I'll touch them, cap, just feel them for a sense. And this time I'm going to open one. I don't usually open it until I'm going to smoke it, but for my audience, then I push here at the cap end, never at the other end, because you don't want to flare it up. And this is this is my all-time favorite bundle cigar. Well made, well wrapped. I just put my hand here and I turn with my left hand. It's a nice Nicaraguan wrapper. Maduros, of course, are aged a little longer, cure a little longer. And what I do is run it around, and what I do, I blow in here. So you get a little air inside, a little humidity. So this is the first time I'm going to smoke later on. So what I do is then open the box that is already prepped. But it's wet. And you go, yeah, it's wet. I want it wet because I want the cellophane to absorb. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. And I set them nice. I rotate my cigars every 2 days. Being that I'm in humid, and that's for aging cigars. If you're the type of guy you're going to smoke, you're going to buy a sample pack of 10 or 5, and you're going to smoke every other day, then you don't really need to be doing this. But I like to, like this here, I might smoke 5 this month and let the rest age. So I take this, right? Put them in a row, line them up, and presto. I just put it in, and slowly at the edge, I don't drop it, never drop it, always. Because sometimes you have to move the cigars a little bit to the left or to the right until it sits. Okay, as you can see, they're in there. It'll move a little bit because of the cedar block separated in the middle, but they're good to go. Now go and I put it to the side. Oh, I got some more, excuse me. I left 3 out. I was counting, I was like, what? And so that's why it was moved. I always like to look at it. There you go. It's set. I set them to age about 5 cigars and put aside. I only got 1 humidor. But see this here bucket, this Tupperware, it's called Bin. I bought it at some convenience store. Well, my wife bought it for me. And this top goes here. I have a bigger one. So I use this. I clean the inside. And you see here, these grooves, I put in a little water in it. You know, once the Tupperware is sealed, it works just as well as a humidor. For this one, I use my eye to gauge the humidity and also in touching the cigars. Because I don't have a gauge for this. So I do more working around with this one than with the gauge. That one has the gauge. That's already going up to. So I put the cigars in here. These basically are the same. Very nice. This is Casa de Garcia. This is a nice Honduran cigar, also Maduro. I put that in there. And the reason why I'm going to smoke one now is to gauge the taste of it. Remember, I was first hired as a cigar taster because all my uncles were cigar tasters in Dominican Republic and in Cuba and in Puerto Rico, and one of them was the creator of the Te Amo cigar way back. So we have a DNA that's conducive to tasting cigars for some minutes. You know, I was taught at a very young age, out in the field. My uncle took me out to the field in a place called Santa Isabela, and then you go, then you put the lid on, and you're done. I tend to put it in dark place for some reason. My uncles did it. I never knew why, so I keep the tradition and I do it for the cigars and put it in a dark place. I think a lot of that has to do with photosynthesis, or when you too much light a cigar, they begin to spot, which is okay, but you don't want your cigar to age rapidly either. Okay, for what I usually do is I use a cutter, or see, that's the cap. I take the cap off. I chew the cap. You're like, what? Yeah. Chew the cap. It's not sour. You know, it doesn't have a vinegar taste to it. If it has a vinegar taste to it, you're going to have a rough time at it. It doesn't have an ammonia smell to it, which can happen from time to time. So, I'm going outside and light this bad boy. Okay. There you go. It's a little windy. I use cedar. Or I use 2 matches. I light it once. Turn it as I light it. Off a little bit. It's lit. And so, whether it's bundle cigar or what they call top premium cigars, I smoke what the locals of those countries can afford to smoke. Trust me, the inside scoop is the locals make the bundles oftentimes better than the premium cigars. Not that the premium cigars are bad, but the locals, being that they can't afford it, they always set aside some good fillers and make the tobacco because they know they can't afford the big tobacco outside of smoking there, and they sell it in their countries. They got their own customers. It's called the black market. But I smoke Maduro because I drink espresso. Look at that bad boy. Tell me about it. Dark Shark. Don't you buy that brand. You get 20 Churchills for $35. Do the math. You get a nice smoke, a nice draw. Look at that. It tastes good too. You can tell it's been cured and aged properly. Most of the time, nobody buys these cigars, so they sit at pipe and tobaccos for at least a month, 2 months. Then they got to pull them out because somebody like me, who's in the know-how, will want to buy those bundles. Six months ago, I killed them. I took everything they had. They was wondering, like, well, what's going on with these cigars? And then I met Gus, and he goes, "Oh, you the one that ordered this?" I go, "Yeah, I've ordered them." He says, "Why you order so much?" Because I'm a tobacconist. He goes, "Ah, you know your cigars." So my friend, make sure to distill water for the cedar. Humidors, you can also use a plastic humidor, put a little water at the bottom, put the cigars in there. Those cigars, you got to be careful. Our average temperature here is 83. It might fluctuate, but it's on the average is 83 degrees. And I make sure I stay on it. I like my cigars, and as long as I stay on it, look at that. Look at that, baby. Talking about I don't know my cigar. For you guys that are pipe smokers and once in a while like a nice cigar, this is it, baby. The Dark Shark, keep it in business. Maduro, Churchill. The other one I ain't gonna tell you. The last time I ordered, it was all gone. Maduro, Churchill, Dark Shark. Love it. Say to the Piper Man, Piper the Sailor Man, signing out. Remember, whatever you can't do today, do tomorrow. Happy holidays. Happy Veterans Day. You veterans out there, Merry Christmas.